Want to see more cool videos on our channel? We do. So press this bell and enable to send notifications. The 7 wonders of the natural world may have been named too quickly. Wonders like the Grand Canyon and Victoria Falls are certainly big, and anyone who sees them will surely be impressed. But sheer size isn't enough to truly leave a person in awe. There are other places in this world, though, that are far stranger places that seem almost alien, as if they could only exist on a planet that evolved separately from our own. These are places that scientists have had to struggle just to understand how they ever could have been formed, places that will truly make you wonder, not just because they're beautiful, but because they seem to follow scientific laws that don't exist anywhere else on Earth. Number 11. Meteora, Greece. It's not hard to be blown away by the amazing cliff-top monasteries of Meteora in central Greece. The name Meteora means suspended in the air in Greek, and it couldn't be a more fitting name. 2,000 feet above the ground on top of stunning rocks that were formed millions of years ago, this is one of the most remote places to worship in the entire world. In fact, these 14th century Eastern Orthodox monasteries were built in order to be closer to God. 6 original monasteries still remain, and there are even monks and nuns who continue to call these clifftop crypts their home. Wow, that's a real long way down. Back in the day, they would traverse the rock face via an intricate system of ladders and baskets, potentially risking their lives every time they went down into the village of Kalabaka below. Today, there are cable cars and a series of stairs that make Meteora much easier to navigate. Thousands of tourists make the journey to this UNESCO World Heritage Site every year, where you can view ancient relics, holy art, and even an ossuary of real human skulls, the remains of dead monks, not your typical tourist attraction by any means. Number 10. Antelope Canyon, Arizona. The mind-blowing Antelope Canyon is located near Page on Navajo Nation land and is world-famous for its deep sandstone coloring as well as its curvy wave-like structure. You might have seen photos of this breathtaking southwestern canyon before, as it's considered to be one of the most beautiful natural landscapes in the entire United States. The narrow entrance is just a few feet wide, however, once you're inside the canyon opens up into a magical space where the temperature can drop as much as 20 degrees. The ever-changing shadows in this natural beauty spot make the Antelope Canyon in Arizona a photographer's paradise. This rock formation is the result of millions of years of water erosion, earning it the name of Sabig Helini in Navajo, translating to the place where water runs through the rocks. Isn't it simply stunning? We'd love to take a trip to this unbelievable place. Number 9. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. Salar de Uyuni is considered one of the most mind-blowingly epic views in the entire world, located in Bolivia, South America. This awesome natural wonder is the largest salt flat on the planet and stretches more than 4,050 square miles across the Altiplano. This amazing landscape is the result of ancient lakes that have long since evaporated, leaving behind a somber, salty expanse. When the nearby lakes flood and overflow, water coats the surface of the flats, creating a mirror-like illusion that reflects the sky above, and then during the dry season, the salt flats harden, forming unique patterns of salt unlike anywhere else in the world. Precious minerals such as lithium are also harvested here, powering batteries, laptops, and phones. Not only is Salar de Uyuni beautiful, but it's useful too. It's also home to the world's first salt hotel. Yeah, if you're into unusual vacations, this is definitely the place for you. Its only drawback is the possibility of altitude sickness, headaches, and insomnia, as the salt flats are nearly 12,000 feet above the sea level. Yikes. Number 8. Mendenhall Ice Caves. Alaska. There's nowhere quite like the magical Mendenhall Ice Caves in Alaska, but if you want to view this natural beauty spot with your own eyes, you first have to kayak to the edge of a glacier and then climb down, yet you have to be physically fit to check out this gorgeous attraction. However, when you finally get there, all the hard work is totally worth it. This is one of the only places on Earth where you can watch as water runs over rocks right above you, as you gaze in awe at the clear frozen ceiling of the hollow glacier above. Stretching for 12 miles along the Mendenhall Valley, these majestic blue ice caves are located just outside Juneau in southeast Alaska. This now-famous glacier originally had 2 names, in Tatagu, meaning glacier behind the town, and Oquatsuk, meaning glacier behind the lake today. However, the glacier has receded by nearly 2 whole miles since 1958, and the pace of melting seems to be accelerating. If you want to pay a visit to the Mendenhall Ice Caves in Alaska, it may be only a matter of time before they disappear for good. Number 7. Marble Cathedral, Chile. The Marble Caves of Chile, they are a simply stunning natural wonder that Instagram dreams are made of. This breathtaking attraction is formed of 3 areas, the cathedral, the chapel, and the cave, and each one is equally unique in their own aesthetic, located in the General Carrera Lake in the heart of Patagonia. You can row up to the caves by kayak or save your energy by taking one of the local boat tours. Greeting you on your approach is a series of strange jagged rocks that seem to float magically on the lake surface. It's only when you enter the mouth of the marble caves that you can truly take in the real majesty of these colorful psychedelic rock faces. This remarkable sight is the result of over 6,000 years of waves crashing against calcium carbonate. These hypnotizing marble caves are at the most beautiful between September and February, when the glacier ice melts into the lake, transforming the water into a marvelous turquoise shade. Number 6. Sagano Bamboo Forest, Japan. In Japan's Sagano Bamboo Forest on the outskirts of Kyoto, tourists from all over the globe gather to admire the towering bamboo stalks that soar into the sky. This dense forest is one of the most famous bamboo groves in all of Japan, and we can see why it's so popular. We've never seen bamboo as epic as this before. It's like a banquet hall for pandas, and it's not just the sheer height and volume of the bamboo forest that pulls the crowds. The unique rustling sounds of the breeze blowing through the grove have been recognized by the Ministry of Environment as one of the most amazing soundscapes in Japan. There's something for all the senses here in Sagano Bamboo Forest, and while you're in the area, you can even check out the nearby Shinto shrines and Buddhist temples, which are often built near bamboo groves, which are a symbol of strength and believed to ward off evil. What a mysterious place. Number 5. Pamuk Kale, Turkey. Pamuk Kale, which translates to Cotton Castle, is one of Turkey's most awe-inspiring natural wonders. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is part of the ancient city of Hierapolis and is famous for its series of bright blue ponds of water that stand out among a white landscape of natural mineral basins. Deposits of calcium bicarbonate have formed over thousands of years, filling the pools with calcite that's believed to have a healing property. In fact, you can take a dip in the hot springs, which are said to help digestion and circulation problems, among other health issues. It's easy to see why this place is such a popular destination. Local legend even claims that this natural beauty spot is made for an ancient cotton that giants left out to dry. Let you make up your own mind on that magical myth. Number 4. Giant's Causeway, Ireland. While we're on the topic of giants in Northern Ireland, you can tread in the footsteps of giants. Yup, this unbelievable place has an equally unbelievable origin story. These huge hexagonal stepping stones are said to have been laid down by the mythical giant Finn McColl, who was trying to make his way across Scotland in order to battle his mortal enemy Bean and Donner. Okay, so giants may not exist, but this awesome landmark definitely does. So what are the real facts behind the Giant's Causeway formation made up of approximately 40,000 basalt rocks? This natural walkway occurred during the crystallization of molten lava that was extruding into the sea. This happened a whopping 50 to 60 million years ago, making the Giant's Causeway a true ancient wonder. These breathtaking columns face out towards the North Atlantic Ocean and can be viewed either from the cliff tops for an awesome bird's eye view or by walking along the actual rocks themselves. But a magical place. Number 3. Hitachi Seaside Park, Japan. The unbelievable Hitachi Seaside Park in Japan is a 2-hour journey from Tokyo. Thousands of tourists from all over the world are drawn to this beautiful natural park every year. It stretches along the beautiful Pacific coast and is home to tens of thousands of bright flowers blooming all through the year. You can find fields of narcissus baby blue eyes and cassia bushes at Hitachi Seaside Park, making it a must-see attraction for any botanical enthusiast. The most stunning sight to behold at this Japanese park has to be the flaming cassia balls, which turn a deep red shade during the fall. 30,000 crimson bushes spread out across the dunes in an epic floral display, and hey, if flowers aren't your thing, then this seaside park also has its very own amusement park, complete with a 328-foot Ferris wheel, mini golf, a mountain, bike trail, and even a roller coaster. Wow, there really is something for everyone here. Number 2. Tunnel of Love. On the outskirts of a town called Kovan in Ukraine, this lush, overgrown tunnel spans nearly 2 miles of train track. It may look like something out of a fantasy movie, but the iconic Tunnel of Love actually exists. This secret passageway was formed over a number of years as the train cut through the edges of the trees 3 times a day. The result is astounding. We bet you've never seen a spectacular view like this out of a train window before. This passage is also known as the Green Mile Tunnel, and it's at its most magnificent during the spring and summer when the leaves of the trees are at their peak. These European trees have been molded over time to create a green and luscious tunnel that not only serves as a train route but also as a romantic destination. Yeah, every year there are a number of love-struck couples that visit the so-called Tunnel of Love in order to make a wish. Local legend says that if they're sincere in their love, their wishes will all come true. This has got to be the ultimate place to take a date. Number 1. Pink Lakes, Western Australia. These pink lakes might look photoshopped, but they're all actually total natural and real, that's right. You can find these awesome bubblegum pink lakes all over Western Australia. The aerial photos of these unique bodies of water are spectacular and, let's face it, totally Instagrammable. So what makes these lakes that fantastic shade of pink? Well, it's all down to the algae in the water. In the fabulous Hut Lagoon located on the Coral Coast, there's a high presence of Denolion Lysolina, an aquatic algae that changes color when exposed to sunlight. The hot pink hue is down to the beta-carotene produced by the algae, which is a bright pigment that can be farmed to dye cosmetics, foods, and other products that we use every day. Amazing, right? Aside from the beautiful hot lagoon, you can capture photos that would make Barbie jealous over at Lake Hillier. This bright pink lake borders a deep green forest which sits on the edge of the royal blue Indian Ocean. The contrasting colors are a feast for the eyes. There's so many awe-inspiring places to visit that it's impossible to pick just one to visit first. So which of these natural wonders would you like to take a trip to? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video.
The world is blessed with bright white sands or located in the most picturesque settings where there are a great number of beautiful beaches, each more astounding than the last one. Some of them are to be found in the heart of world-famous cities, others are in tropical islands or the inside of national parks. Although there is a number of stunning beaches in the world, today we will discuss the top 11 of them. Welcome to our channel, Top 11s, let's get started. Number 11. Benaguil Sea Cave Beach. Benaguil Sea Cave Beach, Portugal. If you've been searching for somewhere with crystal clear water, perfect sand, and isolation from the rest of the world, then the Benaguil Sea Cave Beach in Portugal is ideal. It's on the Algarve, and thanks to the soft rock formations in the area, the tidal forces have carved incredible structures with arches and a giant skylight with a beach nestled inside. It almost looks as if Neptune himself created this idyllic getaway, and it provides the perfect relaxing retreat when the sun shines. It illuminates the amber, and the layered wall sand is much larger inside than you think when looking at it from a distance. The thing that makes it special is that you can't simply walk there. The only way to access it is through one of the arches in the sea. This means you need a boat to get there, and there's never too many people who have made the trip on any given day. Number 10. Shipwreck Beach. Talking about number 10, beautiful Shipwreck Beach that is by gleaming white limestone cliffs that loom over at Sandy Shores Shipwreck Beach and the sparkling turquoise waters that border it. This beach is located on the Ionian island of Zakynthos. It is one of the most beautiful natural settings in the whole of Greece. Beach is known by Shipwreck Beach owing to the rusty remains of a ship that lies upon its sands. The beach is only accessible by boating. Number 9. Whitehaven Beach, Australia. If you're looking for crystal white sands and turquoise-colored sea, then there's simply no better place in the world to visit than Whitehaven Beach. The 4.3-mile-long stretch of coastline is on Whitsunday Island in Australia, which is amongst the Great Barrier Reef and means the water is teeming with life. The reason why the sand is so spectacular is because of its extremely high silica content. Unusually, none of the local rocks contain silica. So it's thought that all of the sand has been washed in by sea currents over millions of years. This has made it take on properties far different from what you might be used to, and it's known for its inability to absorb heat no matter how hot the day is. You'll still be able to walk across the beach barefoot without any problems. It's so finely ground though that it has a habit of getting everywhere and can cause particular problems for electronic equipment. It's rumored through the sand is such good quality that was actually used by NASA to produce the glass for the Hubble Space Telescope in the 1970s. Aerial shots of the bay are stunning and show the way the ocean is pushing the sand up into the cove. It's now such an important place for local tourism that rules are in place to help preserve it for years to come, while you are allowed to have a barbecue as long as you take all the trash home with you. Dogs and smoking are expressly banned to prevent the sand from becoming tarnished. Number 8. Palawan Island Beach. Coming towards number 8, beautiful beach that is a meadow in the north end of Palawan Island. The small town of El Nido makes glimpse as the looming limestone cliffs and lush green jungle surround its small beach. There are lots of hotels and restaurants for tourists. Many people use it as a base to explore the gorgeous archipelago that lies nearby. People can take boat trips around the idyllic islands. Number 7. Black Sand Beach. At 7th number is Black Sand Beach that is quite distinctive, named Reynis Viada Beach, located on the south coast of Iceland. It is one of the most famous black sand beaches on Earth, located next to the sleepy fishing village of Vik. Beach was formed over millennia by vicious waves disintegrating the volcanic coastline. In addition to its specific color, the beach is also renowned for the amazing basalt columns that lie at one end of it. Number 6. Papakolea Beach, Hawaii. When you think of an ideal beach, you'll probably picture either perfectly white or golden yellow sand, but what about green? There are 4 known naturally green beaches in the world, but the most impressive can be found on the Big Island in Hawaii. Papakolea Beach is in a bay that's formed by volcanic cone and was formed around 49,000 years ago rather than being the result of algae or dye. The sand is this unusual color because it has been formed by naturally green rocks. When volcanoes erupt, they release various minerals, one of the most common of which is olivine, which contains both iron and magnesium. It's one of the first to crystallize as magma cools, and this is what gives the green color because the iron is present in ferrous form. Number 5. Copacabana Beach. Copacabana at number 5, one of the most famous and renowned beaches in the world. Rio de Janeiro's Copacabana has long attracted jet setters to its sands stretching 4 kilometers. Beach is bordered by hotels, fancy restaurants, and trendy nightclubs with historic forts lying at either end. On any given day, you can enjoy your visit to beach and observe. Number 4. Maya Bay. At number 4 is Maya Bay, since having shot to fame in the 1999 film. It is in Thailand. It has been one of the most sought-after beaches in the world, which is one of the reasons of its popularity. However, the beach was shut in 2018 and limit the number of visitors to 2,000 a day to help protect and preserve the environment surrounded and sheltered by towering limestone cliffs. One of the interesting things about the beach is that no food is available there. Tourists bring their own food along with them. Different activities such as snorkeling and diving are played throughout the day. Number 3. Whitehaven Beach. Whitehaven Beach is at number 3. Whitehaven Beach in Queensland, Australia is the most attractive beaches in the world, and it is easy to see why, boasting some of the purest sand on Earth. It stretches some 7 kilometers with brilliant turquoise waters lying alongside its secluded coves and lagoons due to its remote location in the Whitsunday Islands. Few visitors you can see on the sand, kayaking, or enjoying a barbecue with barely another soul in sight, only accessible by boat, helicopter, or seaplane. Whitehaven Beach flies right at the heart of the Great Barrier Reef. Number 2. Hot Water Beach. Number 2 is the Hot Water Beach, New Zealand. New Zealand is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, and with such mountainous and lush landscapes. It's no wonder that so many movies choose it as the place for filming. This far more to the country than the peaks and forests though, and Hot Water Beach, which is on the Coromandel Peninsula, is one of the most popular tourist destinations, located just over 100 miles from the city of Auckland. It's estimated that as many as 700,000 people make the trip there each year. New Zealand is covered in hotspots of geothermal vents, and that's what causes the unique environment on this beach, the Waikato region, where it is full of pools and salt flats, and the beach offers one of the most unusual interactions. Visitors can have with hot springs 2 hours either side of low tide. You can dig into the sand and release water, which continues to bubble up and can be used to create your very own pool. There are 2 underground fissures where the water flows from, and the water can reach temperatures of up to 147 degrees Fahrenheit. Large groups of people will often work together to make huge hot tubs in the sand, and it's such a popular and easy activity that there are even kiosks on the beach, where you can hire a shovel to dig out your own design. While you may not immediately think of going to a beach on a cold or rainy day, this place is certainly an exception because that's almost the ideal conditions to visit there are, however, warnings in place for anyone wanting to dig a pool, and that's to be very careful. You're thinking of swimming in the ocean, there are powerful riptides and deep water currents, which means that however tempting, it may be to take a dip to cool off. There are only specific parts of the beach that are safe to do so. Nevertheless, if you love digging holes on the beach and relaxing in hot geothermal waters, there's nowhere else in the world that's quite like it. So if you're in the area, it's well worth a visit. Number 1. Pfeiffer Beach, California. Pfeiffer Beach is on the coast of Big Sur in California, and it's one of the most unusual beaches in the continental US. Rather than having golden or white sand, the deposits there have a distinct purple coloration to it, which leads to the formation of some incredible patterns and shapes. Not all of the sand is this color, which further adds to the beauty of it. The waves continually move it around, and no 2 days are ever the same. The reason for it because the presence of manganese garnet in the rocks and cliffs around the beach and the action of the sea against them both makes it crumble away, grinds it into a fine sand, and then deposits it onto the beach. The beach is accessible all throughout the year, but for a particularly special time, it's best seen during sunrise or sunset. And that's all for our video today. I hope you find this interesting. Don't forget to thumbs up the video and hit that red button to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. The list of the world's richest persons can vary from year to year, depending on their latest net worth and financial performance. Here is the latest list of the world's top 11 richest persons and some interesting facts about each of them based on the Forbes list, and data were taken in April 2021. Now, let's enjoy. Number 11. Amancio Ortega. Amancio Ortega net worth is estimated at $77 billion. Amancio Ortega is not well known outside of his native Spain, but the businessman is almost synonymous with fast fashion as he was the founder of Inditex, which includes fast fashion chains such as Zara, Pull&Bear, Massimo Dutti, Bershka, Stradivarius, Oysho, and Auderquet. Even though some consumers opted to buy used clothes as their incomes contracted in 2020, Inditex still made an amazing profit. Notoriously private, few people know much about Ortega, but through tax records, it's clear that he makes more than $400 million just from dividends every year. On top of his corporate profits, Ortega is worth $77 billion, positioning him in the 11th rank on our list. Number 10. Mukesh Ambani. Mukesh Ambani net worth is estimated at $84.5 billion. Mukesh Ambani was born in 1957. He is a chairman and managing director of India's most valuable company by market value and a Fortune Global 500 company, and is the largest shareholder of Reliance Industries Ltd. As of 2021, his net worth is estimated at $84.5 billion according to Forbes. During the lockdown due to COVID-19, this 63-year-old billionaire earned more than $20 billion thanks to selling 25% stake in Jio for many investors, which helps him get the 10th place in top richest people in the world. He owns a 27-story house, Antilia, that worths more than $1 billion. According to report, this house has a garage for 168 cars, a cinema, a helipad on the rooftop, an independent health club for each family member, and a staff of 600 people. Besides, this man owns an expensive car collection, including Bentley Flying Spur, Rolls-Royce Phantom, plus collection of luxurious planes such as Boeing Business Jet 2, Falcon 900EX, Airbus 319 corporate jet. Number 9. Sergey Brin. Net worth is estimated at $89 billion. Sergey Brin was born in 1973. He is an American computer scientist and internet entrepreneur. Together with Larry Page, he co-founded Google. Brin was the president of Google's parent company, Alphabet Inc., until stepping down from the role in 2019. He and Page remain at Alphabet as co-founders, controlling shareholders, board members, and employees. As of April 2021, Brin has an estimate net worth of $89 billion, making him the 9th richest person in the world. This man owns a large estate in an undisclosed area of Los Altos Hills, California. Besides, he has a $8.5 million penthouse in New York City and spent $80 million to acquire a 73-meter yacht called Dragonfly. In 2014, Brin and Larry Page spent $82 million to build a private airport in San Jose. This 48-year-old man also got for him a cool car and private jet collection in which he has the $12 million Boeing 767-200. Number 8. Larry Page. Sharing the same birth year with Sergey Brin, Larry Page is also a co-founder of Google and is a computer scientist. His net worth is estimated at $91.5 billion. Page was the chief executive officer of Google from 1997 until August 2001, then from April 2011 until July 2015, when he moved to become CEO of Alphabet Inc., a post he held until December 2019. He remains an Alphabet board member, employee, and controlling shareholder. Creating Google built a significant amount of wealth. Estimated at $91.5 billion in 2021, Page's fortune was forged through tenacity, invention, and using his talents to benefit others. Now, he and his family are living in a 9,000 square foot home in Palo Alto, California, which he bought in 2005 for $7.2 million. In 2011, Larry spent $45 million on a 193-foot yacht called Senses. Also, a half-private airport in San Jose are owned by him. Number 7. Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison net worth is estimated at $93 billion. Was born in 1944. He is a business magnate, investor who is a co-founder, the executive chairman, and chief technology officer of Oracle Corporation. At the moment, he owns a 34.5% of Oracle. Since 2003, he has earned around $9 billion from Oracle stock sales and dividends. As of 2021, his net worth is estimated at $93 billion. In comparison to last year, his fortune increased by $34 billion, earning him the 7th place in this list. With a huge amount of money, he owns a lot of real estate across the globe, including homes in Hawaii, Japan, Malibu, Lake Tahoe, San Francisco, and Rhode Island. His primary residence is a 45-acre estate in Woodside, California that is likely worth at least $200 million. Besides, he's also the owner of 12 properties in Malibu that are worth $180 million. Plus, he spent $300 million to acquire 98% of the Hawaiian island of Lanai. For many years, Larry owned the 12th largest $200 million yacht in the world named Rising Sun. Number 6. Warren Buffett. Net worth is estimated at $96 billion. Popularly known as the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett is seen as one of the most successful investors of all time. He runs Berkshire Hathaway that owns over 60 companies, including the famous ones Geico Insurance, Duracell, and Dairy Queen Restaurant. His net worth is $96 billion as of this year. Despite being the 6th richest person on the planet, he has never had any great desire to have multiple houses and all kinds of things and multiple cars. So it's no surprise that he still lives in the 6,570 square foot stucco home he bought for just $31,000 in Omaha in 1958. Today, it's valued around $2 million. He also has one car in his garage. That's a $46,000 Cadillac XTS. Cars aside, Buffett bought a Bombardier Challenger 600, a luxury jet that can cost around $32 million. This jet is also the only luxurious thing that he owns. Number 5. Mark Zuckerberg. Net worth is estimated at $96 billion. Mark Zuckerberg was born in 1984. He is known for co-founding Facebook Inc. and serves as its chairman, chief executive officer, and controlling shareholder. He also is a co-founder of the solar sail spacecraft development project Breakthrough Starshot and serves as one of its board members. During coronavirus pandemic, Facebook becomes more useful than ever, so compared to the previous year, more than $36 billion flew into his pocket. As of today, Mark has an estimated net worth of $97 billion, which mainly comes from Facebook. He is also the youngest billionaire in the list. Zuckerberg and Chan own roughly $200 million worth of real estate and land. Some of their most notable real estate assets include 700 acres in Hawaii, several homes in Palo Alto, and a townhouse in San Francisco. Like Warren Buffett, Mark also has pledged to give away 99% of his wealth during his lifetime. Number 4. Bill Gates. Net worth is estimated at $124 billion. Bill Gates was born in 1955. He is a co-founder of Microsoft Corporation. During his career at Microsoft, Gates held the positions of chairman, chief executive officer, president, and chief software architect, while also being the largest individual shareholder until May 2014. He is considered one of the best-known entrepreneurs of the microcomputer revolution of the 1970s and 1980s. Despite adding $26 billion into his pocket this year, Bill Gates still fell 2 places on the Forbes ranking with his net worth of $124 billion. In terms of asset, the Gates family owns a number of impressive properties around the US, including the $18 million ranch property in California and the $43 million oceanfront mansion in Del Mar. He likely owns residences abroad as well, though less is known about these purchases. In Washington, the Gates family resides in an unbelievably amazing mansion nicknamed Xanadu 2.0, which cost him totally $65 million. Number 3. Bernard Arnault. Net worth is estimated at $150 billion. Bernard Arnault was born in 1949. He is a French billionaire businessman and art collector. He is the chairman and chief executive of LVMH Moet Hennessy, Louis Vuitton SE, the world's largest luxury goods company. He is the owner of more than 70 famous fashion brands, in which include Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, and Sephora. In early 2021, this billionaire accomplished in purchasing the luxury jewelry brand Tiffany & Co. Most of Arnault's wealth comes from the 41% stake in LVMH he controls through his company Christian Dior. As of 2021, his net worth is estimated at $150 billion, appearing in the top 3 richest people in the planet. With a sheer amount of money, he can afford for anything as his desire in, which includes several houses in France, the 5 different homes in Beverly Hills that totally worth $125 million, the $150 million super yacht, the $40 million Dassault Falcon 7X, the 133-acre Indigo Island in the Bahamas purchased for $35 million, and his world-class collection of art. Number 2. Elon Musk. Net worth is estimated at $151 billion. Elon Musk was born in 1971. He is the founder, CEO, CTO, and chief designer of SpaceX, early stage investor, CEO, and product architect of Tesla Inc. founder of The Boring Company, co-founder of Neuralink, and co-founder and initial co-chairman of OpenAI. A centibillionaire, Musk is one of the richest people in the world with an estimated net worth of $151 billion, which mainly comes from his stakes of Tesla. Compared to last year, his net worth increased by $126 billion, making the second richest man on the planet. He owns an impressive real estate holding across the country, including the $23.3 million villa in the Northern California town, 6 homes in the Los Angeles neighborhood of Bel Air. In 2020, Elon stunned the world by announcing his intention to sell all of his worldly possessions, starting with his LA homes. True to his word, he proceeded to sell off each home. He sold 4 homes at once to one buyer in December 2020. Number 1. Jeff Bezos. Net worth is estimated at $177 billion. The person that tops the list of richest people on the planet is Jeff Bezos, who was born in 1964. He is the founder and CEO of the multinational technology company Amazon, which is officially worth $1 trillion, joining other tech titans in the world. He was the richest person in the world without interruption between October 2017 and January 2021. In 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Bezos' wealth grew by approximately $24 billion. So as of this year, Jeff Bezos has a net worth of $177 billion. Like other billionaires, he also spends his money on real estates. In 2020, it was revealed that Jeff had paid $255 million for 2 properties in Beverly Hills. The first property, known as the Jack L. Warner Estate, cost $165 million. Also, he owns the $65 million Gulfstream G650ER, the $300 million yacht named Musashi, and an estimated $600 million for 98% of Lanao, one of the Hawaiian Islands. And that's all for our video today. I hope you find this interesting. Don't forget to thumbs up the video and hit that red button to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.
There is no better place to release some adrenaline than at the top of a roller coaster. So grab a friend, put on your seatbelt, and get ready, because today we're gonna explore some of the craziest roller coasters on Earth. Some of them are here because of their hydrogens. Some of them are here because you have no idea where they're taking you until it's already too late to get off. Do you have what it takes to get inside any of these rides I put together for you? 11 of the crazy roller coasters that are sure to make you scream at the top of your lungs. And who knows, maybe you'll like them so much that you'll go back for another round. Or maybe, understandably, you'll be too intimidated that you don't want to come close to them. Be sure to check out number 1. If you can handle this read, I'm sure you can pretty much handle any roller coaster in the world. Number 11. Skyscream. Meet Skyscream. A spooky ride with lots of turns and drops, enough to give you a scream the whole time. To prepare you for the experience, the Skyscream has been put within an area that will make you feel like the zombie apocalypse has just begun, and you're at the center of it. This is where you can go as fast as 100 kilometers per hour, passing through many twists and loops in just a short amount of time. You can find the Skyscream at Holiday Park in Germany, an amusement park you can't miss if you're a fan of roller coasters. Number 10. Cedar Point's Gatekeeper Roller Coaster. Cedar Point's Gatekeeper is a monster of a machine, a winged roller coaster that flies at 67 miles per hour over 4,164 feet of track. A wing coaster is a kind of steel roller coaster that seats riders on either side of the track, with nothing above or below them, so they're suspended in the air. The Gatekeeper starts by threading riders through the openings in 2 towers at the park's main entrance. Better not eat before you board. Riders are inverted 6 times and experience a 164-foot wing drop maneuver before this 2-minute 20-second trip ends. Number 9. Smiler. One of the scariest moments of a ride is when you make it to an inversion. You go upside down, wishing the train will stay on its tracks and make it back safely. Imagine having to go through 14 inversions, though that's exactly what happens at Smiler, the ride with the most inversions in the world. While the Smiler is not as high as most of the rides on this list, and it definitely doesn't break any records in terms of speed, all those inversions are more than enough to turn your ride into a crazy experience. The ride's capacity is to have 5 trains running at the same time, allowing for around 1,200 people per hour. Back in 2015, a group of riders collided with an empty test train, which did cause injuries to some and turn their smiles into frowns. Number 8. Thunder Dolphin. Right at the heart of Tokyo Dome City, you'll find the Thunder Dolphin, the park's main attraction. This is a roller coaster that can reach a speed of up to 180 kilometers per hour, with a drop of about 80 degrees, which is pretty close to free falling. The way this ride flies over a weighty course makes it look like a dolphin swimming through the ocean, which does explain its name. This ride goes through buildings and even a Ferris wheel. The ride is crazy. It's thrilling, but it's definitely a lot of fun, and there is no excuse if you don't speak Japanese to find your way around this park. There are, in fact, English-speaking staff who help you find your way and make sure you have a great time at Thunder Dolphin of the rides around. Make sure you got it on your list for your next trip to Japan. Number 7. Stealth. Now let's have a look at the fastest and second tallest roller coaster in the UK. Stealth, a main attraction at Thorpe Park Resort. The ride can take you from 0 to 80 miles per hour in a matter of only 2.3 seconds. Just think about that next time you're on the road. It'll definitely take you a bit longer than that for your car to reach that speed in a regular road. Right after reaching its high speed, the stuff goes up to its highest peak at 205 feet high. From there, you'll go downhill and be back at the starting point in the blink of an eye. A crazy unique experience that has happened at the Stealth is a rollback, which is when the trainer car is not able to make it to the top and goes backwards to a starting point. This happens due to energy loss, and it's not necessarily a part of the regular experience, but I'm sure it adds to the thrill that you see that your ride is not going where it's supposed to. But don't worry, it doesn't happen very often, and there's a whole system built to make sure riders return safely without any major issues. If you ride the Stealth and you experience a rollback, just relax and pretend it was part of the fun. Number 6. Saw, the ride. Also in Thorpe Park, we have another crazy ride, one that was inspired by a series of films that was as twisted as the experience of getting in on this, the Saw film franchise. This ride, which was advertised as one of the scariest in the world, starts indoors, taking you through a lot of film references, such as a hanging pendulum blade and some of Jigsaw's tools. You'll probably come face to face with some of your fears during this first part, but none of them will compare to what you'll experience next. Once you're taken out of the indoor part, you'll be sent up 30 meters, then immediately be sent down in an angle of 100 degrees, making it a very steep fall. And in fact, when the ride first opened, it was officially named the steepest drop in the history of roller coasters. You'll do this while going under rotating blades, followed by more thrills down a couple of loops, until you'll finally be sent down to the end of the ride. Up until 2012, you were able to get a DVD of your journey, but the cameras that recorded it were later removed. However, I'm sure you won't need a video of your experience to remember everything that you're gonna go through. Number 5. Expedition G-Force. The Sky Scream is not the only crazy ride you can find at Holiday Park. Let's go back to Germany to explore one of the largest roller coasters in Europe, the Expedition G-Force. In case you're wondering about its name, it might have something to do with the fact that the rider gets a lot of airtime during this experience. In other words, this ride challenges the force of gravity quite a lot of times during its many large hills and twisted turns, while you fly over the woods and a beautiful lake. It'll feel as if you're suspended in the air. If you want to get the best out of this experience, make sure you're right on the back of a train. It'll definitely get lots of airtime over there. Number 4. El Toro. Who doesn't love a good old wooden roller coaster? I sure do. Sometimes they're quite rough and quite bumpy, but no bottom roller coaster can replace the feeling of a classic. El Toro, which literally translates to the bull in English, is one of the best wooden roller coasters in the United States. In fact, El Toro is considered one of the fastest and tallest wooden roller coasters on Earth, with modern technology that provides the best of both worlds. A smooth and filling experience over an old and yet majestic structure. Just a few seconds into the ride are more than enough for anyone to understand where it got its name from. El Toro pretty much mimics the experience of riding an untamed bull. and you'll be hoping that it brings you back inside of the finishing point. With so many turns and a steep drop, you'll feel like this bull is trying to shake you off its back. You'll be proud of yourself when you make it back from the experience, and if you really love the ride, you'll definitely go back for a second round. Number 3. King Daka. Here's another crazy ride that's also in the Six Flags Great Adventure. Remember how crazy the stealth was? Well, if you thought going from 0 to 80 miles per hour in 2.5 seconds was a lot, you might not be ready for King Daka. This ride, which is considered the tallest in the world and the absolute fastest in North America, goes from 0 to 128 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds, and you will definitely need this bump of acceleration to go up 45 stories into the sky. Going any slower could cause a rollback. Number 2. X2. The Six Flags parks are known to be hosts of some of the craziest rides ever. In fact, 2 of the roller coasters on this list are part of the park in New Jersey, and now I'm bringing you a third one. But this one is in Los Angeles at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and it's called X2. This ride promises to get all of your senses involved, blasting awesome music and sound effects, flipping your body around at 360 degrees, and dropping you face down on a very steep track. You might want to close your eyes or seize the thrill, but it'll be quite impossible once you realize you can't predict its next move. The X2 will take you through a wide variety of dives, twists, and loops. It even blows flames at you, for God's sakes. This adds a fourth dimension aspect of the thrill, but don't worry, everything has been carefully designed to make sure you have the craziest, but safest experience. Number 1. Takabisha. Once again, Japan gives us another ride for our list. This time it's the Takabisha, a steel roller coaster in the Fuji-Q Highland theme park. What makes this ride so famous is that it was launched as the steepest ride in the world. Its drop is at an angle of 121 degrees. In fact, Takabisha has just lost that record in October 2019 to the TMNT Shellraiser roller coaster in America, but the Takabisha still has a lot of other features that make it the craziest ride. The whole roller coaster is about 1,000 meters long, and it finishes in less than 2 minutes. The ride begins with a drop into pitch black darkness, quickly followed by a journey down a dark tunnel at 100 kilometers per hour. Further, there are a bunch of twisted turns until you make it to the top of a 43-meter hill. There, you'll find a steep drop that they brag about. It'll feel as if you're about to hit the ground with your face down, but instead, you'll be set into a dive loop, an inline loop, and an Immelmann loop. The 2 minutes will be over before you know it, and if you like that adrenaline rush, you'll want to go up once again. Have you been on any of these rides? And if so, how was your experience? Let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I hope you'll have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you all next time. Our planet is covered in curious geological formations, many of which we still can't fully explain. Over millions of years, the forces of wind, water, fire, and ice have carved the world's surface to make it what it is today. And researchers are still finding surprises everywhere. Strange gaps and cabins, some of the strangest things you'll find in before you're accidentally falling. It's time to show you the 11 most dangerous holes on Earth. Like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now. Number 11. Mysterious holes in Siberia. At the vast frozen plains of Siberia are some of the most remote and inhospitable places on Earth. But some of the most unusual are the crater-like holes that were discovered in the permafrost. They've led to a number of theories as to what could have caused them. Are they marks left behind by an alien spaceship? Or perhaps the result of a meteor that broke in half before it landed on the ground? Or maybe something else entirely? On the deleted theories, and perhaps more surprising than anything else, involves a little that we actually know about. With permafrost regions like this, it's long been known that the frozen ground contains large amounts of gas and carbon deposits, and when it thaws, it releases it all into the atmosphere. Could it be possible that after releasing what it contains, large enough gaps are formed that can cause the ground to sink in on itself? Researchers are now starting to believe this is more likely and expect to see phenomena like this forming far more frequently throughout the frozen regions on Earth. Number 10. The hole in Lake Burissa. Lake Burissa is one of the largest man-made water deposits in California, but in recent years, something truly strange has been happening with the appearance of a gigantic hole. The lake is held in place by a dam and provides water to homes and businesses across the region. It was built with a 72-foot diameter pipe in it, just in case the water levels rise too high and threaten the integrity of the dam. And in recent years, that's exactly what happened. When you see the water at a lower level, the glory hole as it's known, looks like a concrete structure in line with the rest of the dam. When the hole was built in 1957, officials only thought it would be needed every 50 years or so. But the change in climate in the past few years has meant that much more rain is falling than normal, that the hole has been needed almost every year. Despite channeling 48,000 cubic feet of water per second, it doesn't create a strong current tourism, and so it isn't considered to be a danger to boaters and other users of the lake. That doesn't mean you should be overconfident though, because in 1997, one swimmer was sucked into it and her body was found downstream 3 hours later. Number 9. Dean's Blue Hole. The Bahamas is known around the world for their beautiful beaches, incredible sea life, and wonderfully warm and clear water. But there's an amazing structure just off the coast of Clarencetown on an island, a place called Dean's Blue Hole. Blue holes are formed when a sinkhole opens up underwater and the entrance remains beneath the surface. This one is one of the deepest that's ever been discovered and descends to around 663 feet, and at the top, it takes on a circular shape that's about 100 feet. Once you go 66 feet deep into it, it opens up into a cavernous around 330 feet across. The water here is incredibly clear, and on a good day, the visibility can be as far as 115 feet. The stillness of the water means that it's a popular site for freedivers, and is where many of the freediving depth records have been set in the past decade. Since 2008, it has been the location of the annual Vertical Blue competition. The sea divers come from all over the world and see how far into the depths they can reach on one breath. Number 8. Holes appear in sand dunes. Depending on the desert you're looking at, sand dunes can be transient features that shift and move in whatever direction to prevail and wind is blowing, such as the ones that can be found at Mount Baldy. In 2013, a 6-year-old boy was walking across the dunes when suddenly he vanished beneath the sand into a huge hole. The rescue effort took 3 hours to retrieve him after he ended up more than 11 feet below the sand and sediment. Since then, more holes like this have begun to appear and force authorities to close the park that's just 55 miles to the southeast of Chicago. For a while, they had no idea what was happening, but after scanning the region with ground-penetrating radar, they came across an answer. Old photos had shown the area to once be full of trees, which had since been covered over by the sand. As water seeped through, the debris is decaying and leaving gaps and instabilities in the sand. All it takes is slight pressure from above, and the whole lot can collapse. There's no fix to this problem, because it's being caused by the unstable foundations of the dunes. So right now, access to the region is strictly controlled. Number 7. Guatemala Sinkhole. Doesn't matter where you live, there's always a slight risk that a sinkhole could open up beneath your home or street and swallow up everything above it. Luckily, these events are quite rare, but human activity can on some occasions make it far more likely. This image was taken of a sinkhole that opened up in the streets of Guatemala City in 2010, and as you can see, the 300-foot deep and 60-foot wide crater took everything with him. Sinkholes aren't that uncommon in the city. After all, Guatemala was built in a place where the first few thousand feet of ground is made up of volcanic debris that can be eroded more easily than normal Earth. But this particular hole was much bigger than anyone thought possible. After investigation, though, it began to appear increasingly likely that it was the result of construction work. It happened soon after a rainstorm that saturated the ground with water and would have disturbed the top layer, but it's thought that either a burst water pipe or a drain pipe have been releasing water into the cavity for far longer, and it's slowly been carving the hole out and just needed an extra push to open it. Luckily, when it happened, there were no people above it, because if they had been, they wouldn't have stood a chance. Number 6. the Dead Sea holes. The Dead Sea is so named because the water has such high mineral concentrations. But in recent years, changes in the environment have led to a series of giant sinkholes opening up on its shores. The sea is actually shrinking, and at a surprisingly fast rate of about 3 feet a year. Because water has been diverted away from the rivers that feed it, the consequence of this is now making it dangerous for visitors and raising questions about whether people should even be allowed to go there at all. As the salty water recedes, fresh groundwater wells up through the ground and dissolves the layers of salt that have been deposited by the sea over thousands of years. This creates large cavities beneath the surface, and once they breach through the top layer, a sinkhole is formed. There's no pattern to where they appear, and efforts are underway to try and predict where the next ones will form. Without the ability to do so, there will be an increase in danger that some will be sucked in, and if they are, there will be virtually no way to rescue them. Number 5. Udakhnaya Pipe. Udakhnaya Pipe is a deposit of diamonds in the Sakha Republic in Russia. It's just outside the Arctic Circle, and since it was first discovered in 1955, it has become the third deepest open-pit mine in the world. Owned in the Troll by Alrosa, a Russian diamond company, it descends more than 2,100 feet beneath the surface and is one of the most productive diamond mines in the world. It's estimated to contain in the region of 225.8 million carats of diamonds, which equate to a weight of 45.16 tons. And with the current technologies, more than 10.4 million carats are retrieved every year. When you see the mine in all its glory from aerial shots, you can see how astonishingly huge it is. The ridges along its walls are purposefully designed to provide ground access for vehicles into the central pit of the mine. And with current progress operations, work should be able to continue for at least another 20 years. When all the diamonds have been removed, however, no one quite knows what will happen to the hole. It'll likely just be left there, rather than being filled in, and will remain a testament to the extent we as a species will go to acquire the things we deem most valuable. Number 4. The Forest of Guangxi. China's Forest of Guangxi is a huge region, covered with a thick canopy of trees, but when a giant sinkhole opened up, the researchers were desperate to take a closer look. What they'd find when they got there in 2018 was what they described as a world-class geological wonder. The sinkhole leads to a huge underground cavern that has an estimated volume of 236 million cubic feet. The expedition team carefully lowered themselves the 387 feet to the cave floor and measured the structure has been 328 feet wide and 656 feet long. In it, there are stone corridors, holes, craters, stone pillars, and strange rock formations called cave pearls, which are formed by water that passes over small pieces of stones over centuries, and they smooth them into perfect spheres. They also discovered a shaft that led from the cave into an underground